Have you encountered the Hidden Tribes report?
I've not, no, but I'd love to see it. I probably have to DuckDuckGo that one too, huh?
Yeah, you have to DuckDuckGo that one. It says it's reflective of exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
And so, if we go back to the idea that extrapolation is the key to figuring out where you really are, the Hidden Tribes report reveals that most Americans, what they call the exhausted middle, right? Some overwhelming majority of Americans are in basic agreement on all of the issues.
It's like
right?
80-something%.
Yeah,
Right.
for
It's
real.
huge agreement. And, you're right. Most Americans are not zealots about guns either way, right?
Is this like the
Same things.
80-20 rule? Is that where we're going here? 20% of assholes are causing problems or what?
No, it's not like
This is
that.
empirical. Like they went
Yeah.
out and actually assessed where people fall. And, you've got this tiny, tiny fringe on the so-called alt-right and this slightly larger fringe on the so-called left, who, are sort of, maybe Nazis and Antifa. But the vast majority of us, whether or not we call ourselves progressives as we do, or conservatives or whatever, are actually in the middle, aligned, agree on values, agree on so much about where we think we should be going.
But the point is, okay, how in a country where basically, for example, let's take the most contentious of issues, right? Abortion.
Right.
Right. Well, actually, most Americans believe there is some right to terminate a pregnancy, but it doesn't continue up through the moment before birth. Right. We're all pretty much in agreement about that. And there are a few people who don't agree. But the point is, why are we so fiercely divided over issues that we actually don't disagree over? That has to be about somebody needing us divided. We're divided over effectively the color of our jersey.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm on the blue team, then I think the red people are crazy.
Right.
And they think I'm crazy. And the point is actually you're both crazy. Right.
Yeah.
You really are.
Take off the damn jerseys.
Right. Yeah. It's jerseys and somebody put them on you. And then they're basically your puppeteer on the basis that you know when to fall in line based on whether the person speaking is understood to be on your team. And the worst part of this whole thing is that most of the people on one of these teams view anybody who doesn't sound like them as inherently on the other team.
Right.
So it's very hard to stand outside of this and say, actually, I don't believe in either of those.
Well,
teams.
the ultimate end to that is that everybody thinks everybody else is on a different team, right? I mean, it has to fracture down to that very level. And when people are trying to divide you, they're trying to conquer you, right? Is that how that phrase goes?
Divide and conquer.
6,000-year-old phrase. We've known this for 6,000 years at a minimum. I'm sure people figured it out before they wrote it down, and we still aren't able to figure it out somehow. It is truly baffling to me.